Well, that is us live now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. And
Anyway,
welcome back
I said to the pod,
DK109 channel, where we have a horrible reprobate by the name of Harry, who's basically about 80% cunt.
hey, I've said
Yes.
one word tonight.
Yeah, and
Don't
even that
give
was
me
all
this
it
already.
took. That was all it took. I'll just turn that light on there. so you
We've
guys
been
can actually
away
see
for
me.
a very long time,
It
Dan. I think
has,
she.
yes.
Oh God, I'm so glad I'm drinking alcohol right now.
It
This is
has
gonna be fun.
been it has been a month since we've been able
I'm banned.
to have everyone together through various things of people being unavailable for various reasons. The Monday session was going unloved and suffering, but we are all here now. The first name on the list of names that I should be reading out to let you guys know who's here and ready to do stuff is meant to be Jacob, who's played by Big Mike himself. Is he back from taking his
I
meds?
am.
He's back. So yes, we have Jacob played by Big Mike.
Hello, good evening.
We have Vivian, who's played by my lovely darling other half, who's here sitting behind me. Hey, baby.
Hello.
And we've got Maeve, who's played by the aforementioned twatback Harry. Sorry, it's a reflex.
Permission to speak.
Yes, you may speak.
Hello.
That's enough. I couldn't resist, really. Low-hanging fruit. What are you going to do, Melly Human? But yes, we have got... All joking aside, we have got Maeve, who's played by Harry.
Hello.
We've got Nye, who is played by Key.
Hello.
And we've got Iron, who's played by Lyof.
Yo.
And I still keep forgetting, is it Lyof or Leo? Like, every single
Lyof.
time. It is
You
Lyof.
say it right every time.
It's just a self-doubt.
Yeah.
Yes, so... Now, does anyone remember what you guys were up to the last time we actually played? Before I start throwing out
covered
points.
Lyof and damn it, I can't remember his name. Our other mage.
Jacob.
Oh my goodness.
Jacob.
Yes,
there
so
we go.
there was...
I just heard you say it too. They got married.
I just
last
saw
time
the Hero Forge thing you made for me.
Had you not seen that yet?
Yeah. No, I'm just genuinely impressed that you managed to make Maeve look both heroic and retarded at the same time. That was really impressive. I was like, that is uncanny.
I did my best to capture the spirit and soul of all of you.
Thank you very much.
So far, all of the players have commented on how much they like their characters. I imagine Nye likes his one because it is a direct copy of the one that he sent me.
I mean, it's the one I made. So.
It is, yeah. So
Just look at it. He's derping his balls.
it is brilliant. I'm really happy
Hey,
with
guys.
all of them. I'm particularly happy. There's a couple of them that I'm particularly happy with, which is in the main roster, the one for Perry the Paladin, who's in the Sunday group. Just because he's a dex-based paladin, he wears leather armor, has a buckler instead of a proper shield, uses a rapier as a sword, and it's just like I feel like I've really captured the essence of who that character is. But yes, the Hero Forge models, they are available in that way, and if you are so inclined, I can link you guys what your stuff is, and hopefully once I actually have a job and some income coming in, we'll be able to potentially be running some giveaways and stuff. That is the plan, but it is somewhat long term until I can actually get some consistent money coming in to be able to pay for something.
Could we just have like a lottery or a tombola? Just we'll give you £1.
Well, that would help towards it certainly, but they're about $30 to sort out. I think it's $35 including postage.
Although that's actually not.
I would
It's
be
not,
up for
no,
that. If
that's the thing. It's
someone's like
really-
$5
it isn't much.
for a chance.
It's not much. It is not a huge amount of money, given what they are as being personalised models. It is not a huge amount of money at all. But when you have no income aside from job seekers' allowance, which kind of all goes straight to your parents for housekeeping, yeah, it makes it a little bit on the tricky side to try and do anything like
Yeah,
that.
I kind of feel like
yeah.
a douchebag was saying it's not that much.
No, it's,
Like,
realistically, numerically, it's not that much, but relatively, it is quite a lot for me at this time.
I mean, I read a Facebook post the other day which basically equated job seekers' allowance to, the same income as Ozzy Osbourne from royalties.
Oh, so that's where my guild name comes from. I'm in a guild called Job Seekers Alliance in World of Warcraft.
That works.
That's,
I like that.
that's quite clever.
Yes,
I like that.
we like this. Golf clap, yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
moving
So
on.
yes,
Moving
last month or last session to be more precise, and the sessions preceding, the parties had all been taking some earned downtime in the great city of Neverwinter, where they've been able to earn themselves a little bit of extra coin, get themselves maybe a little bit of extra equipment, some more experience,
Come back from
and
the
also
dead.
come back from the dead. Get to know each other a little bit better, and it was sort of like an opportunity for there to be not guaranteed no combat and risk, but meant to be a lower chance of risk or injury, so they actually have an opportunity to all get to know each other a bit better. I feel like all the players and characters kind of got a chance to know each other a bit better, as opposed to just being thrust into the dungeon and said, "There you go, be friends." So I feel like everyone did get that opportunity to spend a bit more time with each other. Hey, Panda, and get to know each other a bit better on that bit. But a few things did occur during their time in Neverwinter. So one of the things that occurred was meeting Jacob. because you did originally.
No, wasn't it Vivian who we met in Neverwinter?
It was Vivian.
Oh, yes, it was Vivian and Neverwinter. Oh, yes, Jacob.
We met Jacob in
That's right.
the
Yes,
dungeon.
because
No, the smithy.
originally it was the warlock or the rogue, whatever it was, who got pulled out for various reasons, and then we had Jacob came in and took that spot, and I can't remember who had to disappear.
It was a paladin, the Dex paladin, who had to disappear.
Yes, it was the Asama angel, the whole angel daddy scenario thing.
Oh right, yeah, that was that.
It was her. She had to leave. So you were rolling as a 4 for a while, if memory serves, on that bit until my darling decided that she would like to join the game, and was I feel with a moderate level of success shoehorned in.
Yes.
There was what else actually happened when you were in the city? Nye spent some time with some goblins. You all spent some time with some goblins. Some of you spent a little bit more time with the goblins than you should have done in ways you should not have been doing so.
Oh,
I found my true calling in life. I found enlightenment.
A pacifist, the din. That
Thou
sounds
shalt
so
not
much
strike
worse.
first.
sounds so good.
The pacifist paladin.
Was that Sun Tzu that said that?
Yeah.
I do have one question, please.
Yes.
The suspense is killing me. Was I able to get a message to the guy for weaponry to deliver it to the guild?
You know, we'll say yes, just because the amount of time that's gone by and that, yes, you managed to get the message off that the item needs to be. Because why she wasn't even having made again?
weeks ago. They've been charging us.
I was lent 150 gold because I think the item was 100 and I needed to pay postage too.
I gave you 150 gold.
What was the item you were getting made though?
It was a bolo.
They were like bolos.
Yeah, that's right. It was the some form of range
Hang a
thing.
minute.
I need to work out what it's actually going to count as in terms of as a weapon.
It must be less than 50 because the contingency was a health potion.
That was the collateral that you just offered up without him asking for anything, though. To be fair.
Well, yeah, because he asked for money and I didn't have any. I'd given it all buying ingredients so that Nye didn't die. From his own stupidity, I might add.
Well.
I'm going to try adding a weapon.
I'm sorry,
for
Mister.
you.
I'm gonna hump and do unspeakable things to tiny creatures.
You did
Pumpy.
You did do some horrible things to.
Hey, I'm not the one who has the goblin fetish. That's Lyle.
Hey, let's not bring this up again, okay? It's water under the bridge.
I just brutally murder them for no reason.
Yeah,
in
that's
front of
so much better. There
After you put
was
one in a net.
there was an incident that happened during. There's a few incidents that happened during downtime, actual like carousing sessions, and the most recent one of those involves two members of the party who woke up in a very I feel like it was a very wholesome way. I feel, and that they just woke up cuddling.
Another friends forever.
And they each had a ring on their finger, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's completely fine, completely healthy.
I have just linked you the stats and the stuff for the bowlers in the chat.
Oh, brilliant! They've actually got one already. Fantastic stuff. That does make life a heck of a lot easier.
What is it?
That is
the
exactly how
model-
I was gonna. That is exactly how I was gonna go down the route. Basically, it's a cross between a dagger and a net, which is in terms of the stat line, and that is the exact line I was going down for in terms of actually like putting it together. So
Saves you a brain.
Awesome.
Yes.
Do you mind if I add that as it's written to my character sheet?
If you want to do that, yeah, I'll take out the one I started partially adding in. And I'll let you play around doing that bit. There you go. Character sheet is yours to dick around with. So that was your Saturday night, and I also remember Vivian and Jacob spent some time in the city doing some being tax collectors and earned themselves a little bit of money that way. Lyov slept with half of the city, sure.
Pretty much.
And somehow has a decanter of endless mimosa, which you still need to explain to me exactly what's going on with what is very clearly a legendary level artifact.
It'll come when I write the lore. So far, I've managed to come up with him being brought up on a potato farm, so you know you have that tidbit.
We've got Potato Farm, and somewhere from Potato Farm we get decanter of endless mimosa. I mean, we can do this. We can make this work. We can make this work. It'll be okay. It'll be all right.
It'll be okay. Yes.
But you have got you've got 1 day left here in the city of Neverwinter with the assortment of things that are available to you. Oh, of course, Nye has a new title as well now.
Yes, I actually need to remember it. Oh wait, no, I put it on my character sheet, I think.
Yeah, because he won a cooking competition. It was the only character across the whole of the 3 sessions that actually had an interest in doing the cooking competition in the end, it turned out.
Who would have thought the cook's interested in cooking?
Yeah. Yes, and it's been your Sunday morning where you're all waking up in your assorted rooms in the Blue Stallion, in terms of where some of you have your own rooms, some of you have shared rooms and such. Let's actually quick double check what that is. It is a finesse weapon, which technically means you can use strength or dexterity for it. Memory serves.
Yeah. Yes, you are correct.
So if you want to, if you the idea of it being, do you wang it harder or do you wang it more accurately? I suppose. It being the reasoning behind why it's a finesse thing.
Dan, you know I wang it hard.
I've heard stories, and I've also heard stories about it being the lack of accuracy. I've heard about that as well.
Oh, Lord.
It's true. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. Let's just move on.
It's been a while since Harry and I have had some time together like this. It's going to take him some getting used to what he can and can't get away with saying before me just destroying him. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, an incident has occurred.
Oh, what?
Oh, Darth Paul's here. Yes, is right. You see my new movie soon. So yes, sorry, I was just double checking on the chat. Things have happened. It's all okay though. Radio. So, party on a Sunday morning. Your last day, half day, 2/3 of a day in Neverwinter. Is there anything else that your characters that you've been thinking about in this entire month since we've had the ability to spend some time together? Anything you guys have been thinking about that your characters may have wanted to be doing? Actually, as well, one thing I do need from all of you. What would it be? It would be a perception check, I think. A perception check from all of you.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, I'm doing my best here.
What are you?
I'm just trying to get this right.
You're probably going to want to change. You need to change the actual attack itself. To
Yeah.
You've set. Actually, looks like you've set it to Dex instead of.
Yes, you did.
Oh, that's a bad roll.
Now, even with these quite low rolls, basically, this is one of those roll situations of an opportunity to fail more than anything else, as to see whether or not you weren't going to be aware of this. But all of you are aware that some of the faces that you've seen, being like regular faces in the Blue Stallion, they aren't around. They're not they're not at their regular table in the morning. So it seems like there's maybe some of the regular patrons of the Blue Stallion, and ostensibly, theoretically, other members of the Silvertown Adventuring Guild appear to not be where they are, not where they normally would be. You don't know anything about it. Asking around, no one seems to know anything what's going on with it, but no one seems to be unduly concerned about it either. You just notice that some people are not where they should be.
Okay. Question. In like the timeline, are we still like have we diverged from the other groups since they're so far ahead of us, or are we like
No. Actually, everything is actually about in time with itself. I'll just so letting you guys know as players, the Sunday group, they are technically a session ahead of you about. So the way we've been working this is that you've got the 7 days of downtime in Neverwinter, which is actually you play through days properly. Unless you particularly specifically want to fast forward through any of your days. The idea is that there is something available for you to do each of the days. So you have that week of downtime in the city. When you get back to the guild hall, we have sort of like a fast travel week of downtime. So basically, it's this last moments of prep stuff. You can go back to the city if you want, but you have to pay your own room and board. You won't get covered by the guild this time. You've had your guild certified and paid for time off. If you've now basically you're given another week of your last moments of prep, any little bits of training you want to do, any last bits of research you want to do, any last opportunities to try and learn some spells, that sort of thing. Harry, where you're having a weapon made for you, an opportunity for that weapon to then be further, to be more easily procured, or a chance for it to turn up before going into the dungeon. So that's why each of the parties is going to get like a week where we don't play through each day specifically. It's a case of what is your character going to be doing during the course of this week, and then you guys let me know. Oh, I want to go back to the city to try and I want to try and find myself a better shield. I want to go back to the college and try and learn some more stuff about abjuration spells. I want to spend some time starting up some training with something. Give you a more specific example of some of the things that you can do. If you remember the rules we have around classes, multi-classes, that sort of stuff, when you were creating your characters, what I said was your characters start at second level, and then we progress from there. You guys got up to 4th level, and what it said was that you can multi-class. Multi-classing is fine, but you need to take your first 3 levels, at least your first 3 levels within your primary class. The idea behind that being that you're definitely going to get your archetype. You're guaranteed to get your archetype for your character, which does a lot to really say who a character is and like the core elements of that person. So if there is anything that you want to do, sorry, reading chat at the same time. So hey guys, if there is anything that you particularly want to do for like getting ready to do multi-classing. So again, as I started to give you a more specific example, one of the characters in the Sunday group, who is a druid, they after having a chat with them about certain things, he's decided that he wants to take his next level whenever that comes around. He wants to take his next level as being a monk. And so what we've done is we've said about how we can like start some of that off by having it so that he's spending his week in training with some of the people who in the Silvertown Guild who already are monks. So basically each morning he's up at 4 a.m, basically getting his ass handed to him by a selection of other monks.
Okay.
So if there is things you guys want to do regarding like if you've had a thought about how you want to multi-class a little bit, then we can like start some little roleplay stuff around that. Maybe make it so you get a little bit of access to some of what that class can kind of do. Maybe again, going back to the previous example, at the moment the druid can use a monk weapon in terms of they can use their dexterity for it instead of their strength, but they are not proficient in the weapon, so they lose the proficiency to their attacks and stuff, but they are now using the dexterity stat instead of their strength stat. Yep. So the little things that we can do to basically signify how things are happening, how your character is progressing and changing and learning and becoming a more complete character. So if there is things that you guys want to do on that bit, have a think about that as well. But that is somewhat in the future. Is there anything that you guys would like to do now that you've spending? You spent a good old week or so in Neverwinter, on your last day in Neverwinter before you head back to the guild. What would you guys like to do? I think we should probably pick up with Jacob and Iron first, who are waking up in the same bed. I believe the description I gave was this: as the sunlight pours in through the window, and Ion raises his hand to block the rays from spearing into his eyes. Oh no, I don't want to see. Ah, it's too bright. Ah, my migraine. Oh, my hangover. And like sees a little glint on his finger of a ring that was not there the night before. And spots also a matching ring on Jacob's hand.
Did we not roleplay this last time?
We did. I would say it might be a good idea to if we because it's been a little while. If we like pick
Okay.
up from that point to ease back in.
Cool. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, it's been such a long time. I can't remember what his voice is.
I believe the phrase that Harry used was the screechy voice man, something like that.
Something like that.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. Oh.
There we go, close enough.
Oh, what a pretty ring. Oh, okay. Jacob, baby, hubby, wake up. I think there's something you need to see.
What is it? Why are you calling me hubby?
Well, you know how the ancient goddess said, if you like it, you should have put a ring on it? Well,
Yeah.
No, I'm not putting Beyonce in the pantheon. All right.
That's now canon.
Oh,
it is not kind of. Beyonce is the great goddess.
chaotic good.
The followers of Soon all say, if you like it, put a ring on it. It's inscribed on sacred relics.
The way of worship is doing the hand pumpy dance part. Anyway, we were pretty drunk last night, right? And we had a good time. I had fun, but well, yeah. Look at these, and I put my hand next to his, and like to show that we both have a ring on our finger. I'm like,
What?
yeah. So, what do you make of that?
Nothing good. Who?
Yeah.
I thought
How about what?
I thought Priest slept. What? Wait, how the hell did this happen?
I honestly have no idea. How about we just go have breakfast and then think about this? Because I have a massive hangover and I want some eggs and sausages.
Okay, but I'm taking the ring off and put it in my pocket. I don't need it. No one else needs to know about this until we can figure out what the hell to do.
I completely understand, but I want you to understand that actually does, for some reason, hurt my feelings. So keep that in mind.
Get
Okay,
my
let's
dice
go.
box out and see whether or not that ring comes off easily, shall I? Let's see how tightly on the ring is. Yeah, that's a pretty snug fit. That's not not quite sure how that managed to get over your knuckle in the first place.
Can I not apply like heat and then?
You can firebolt your own hand if you.
Well, I'm pretty fire resistant. So could I not just?
Actually, you know, give us a sleight of hand check. Give us a sleight of hand check to see how well you're able to do it without basically setting yourself on fire. Yeah, you're okay with that. You managed to heat the metal to make it malleable enough that you can get it off without completely destroying the ring.
Okay, we'll ignore it for now, but this talk is not over, hubby. We'll talk about it later. Let's go eat.
So,
Okay.
I think that it's not going to be particularly massively early in the morning at this point, I don't feel. I think it would be looking probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning sort of time on your Sunday morning here. Did anyone else get particularly ruined the previous night?
No.
I apparently went to go get a tattoo.
Yes,
All
that's right.
And then I quickly sent you a thing to actually have it covered up as, but you never
Oh.
said anything about it.
With me a second. Let me just go through the private messages again, because you did send. I do remember you sending me the thing. It was
I think they could
the
work some fancy magic.
yeah. It was the text, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can go and have that put over it. You can have the text scrubbed out with that.
Cool. Good. Well, because I was gonna have him do it that night as well after I gave him a bit of a talking to about.
Were you gonna do that? It was as Safine was leaving, wasn't it?
Yes.
You were like,
Yeah.
whilst we're here, can we just?
Yeah, just
tidy
just
this
put
up.
this over instead.
Yeah.
And he said,
Okay.
no, because it was too fresh.
And I said, "Fuck it, I don't care," because we've got 2 people with healing hands. I think, if I remember correctly, don't we? Or we have 1.
Me at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maze has one as well.
Okay, so slight rewind in terms of going to the night before. Then let's have a quick little constitution check from you, just to see basically whether or not you end up getting some form of infection or anything.
Well, an infection wouldn't set in that fast.
Yeah, I know, but it's whether or not it carries on going through. You know.
You said Constitution saving
Yeah,
throw?
just constitution saving throw. Yeah, you're fine. Basically, it was because it was something that I'd put in place. If here's a fun little thing for you to deal with, and you would be essentially looking for the I want to remove the fun little thing. It was an opportunity for a nat 1, but you didn't get a nat 1. Basically, all you need to do is roll a 2 or better to successfully get yourself a cover-up tattoo there.
Why are you fucking trying to kill me again?
I'm not trying to kill. No, it just would have been like, it would have stung to sit down or whatever,
Infections are bad, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but people who can do healing, you'd have been fine. It's only a little infection, not like a proper you're not going to get
not
like
laying hands on
corporate
anyone's arse, I'm
haemophilia.
afraid.
Okay, thanks.
you
What
did the goblin.
was Vivian just had a nice night in, I think, didn't she? Yeah. And what was Maeve doing?
I don't drink. I had an early evening, and I wish to have an audience with Nye in the morning.
Okay, well, I think Nye would have made it back to the Blue Stadium before stupid o'clock in the morning, and early enough that he would have got a decent night's sleep and still been up in the morning. So let's say that let's be on the more friendly side of it, and we'll say that you're all definitely going to be up and awake by 9 a.m. Having yourselves like a nice breakfast in the common room of the Blue Stallion, which is where you'll notice that there are significantly fewer faces than one would expect. And
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How did you sleep?
God, it's awake.
It was. I just keep side-eyeing Jacob. It went pretty good.
Well, are you okay? There seems to be something wrong with you this morning.
Oh, don't worry, I know how to fix it. And I pour myself a big glass of mimosa out of my legendary fucking cup of pee. I don't know. Something.
Cup of pee.
Yeah,
What's
it
a-
turns pee into mimosa.
That's an interesting implement you have on the back of your hand. Where did you get that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I've always had this. I just like pretty things. Ion is stupid. Ion likes pretty things. That's how it goes, right?
It's one of the ways I challenge my
It's-
power
it's-
of spoon.
It's quite a remarkable ring. I mean, all I've got in my head, if anyone has ever played Monkey Island, is the bit where Wally walks up to Guybrush and is like, "Oh, well, I'm sure he wouldn't have given you that cursed ring from LeChuck's treasure hole." Oh, it's not very you. You're quite a flamboyant fellow, and it's just quite, I don't know, plain.
Did
Did you pick it out yourself?
I'm just experimenting with a different fashion phase. Yeah, okay? Let's just leave it at that, okay? I'm gonna go back to eating and drinking, okay? Yeah.
Oh, can I? Dan,
Can you what?
Can I use that insight roll?
I do feel like that Ion was being a little bit deceptive.
Yes, definitely.
So I feel like maybe whilst it's a good insight roll, he needs something to roll against. So let's have a deception roll from Ion to see how well he's able to sell the story.
Okay. Deception. Where are you?
I am role-playing these roads through that conversation. I know.
I think it
I
has
know you're
worked out
lying,
pretty much. Yeah. It's
but
worked
I
out
don't
pretty
know
much that
Jacob's
way.
involved.
Yeah, you know that something's up. Something is definitely up.
Do I know it's between them, or do I just know that Live is off?
No, you just know that there's something off with Live and sorry, with
Ion is the character's name.
yeah.
Not.
Sorry, yeah.
It's
sorry.
something off with Ion and Ion's story.
Ion, if you're in trouble, you can tell us. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, I know. Cool. And I stuff a whole sausage up my mouth so I don't have to talk anymore.
That's a
The way
heck of
that
a
sentence-
phrase.
Those are the words I was looking for. Thank you, Dan.
That's
No, I was wondering if I could have a word.
What?
Now, I know earlier in this week we didn't exactly get off to the best of start in Neverwinter.
Oh, you don't say.
Well, yes. About that, I've made a decision based on a few of your comments, some of which were hurtful, but I've decided that I'm going to retire my net.
Finally.
As you seem to be, the hunter tracker. Oh, what's the word? The animal snatcher of the group. Perhaps you would find some use for this.
Did you just forget
No.
the word ranger?
Good.
Yeah.
No, Maeve forgot the word
Maeve.
ranger.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
Dan, you forgot the word for table.
He
Disadvantage.
got you there.
You genuinely forgot the word table. Don't give me a hard time.
Disadvantage.
But perhaps you could find some use for it.
No, so that you yourself some money.
Well,
Sorry, I don't know why I went.
if that's how you feel, I just thought I'd make a peace offering, and I'd just sort of stuff it back in my pack.
So you're standing up, right?
I kind of have an image of my pack next to the table, but yeah.
No, I'm saying like, are you standing up with your pack next to you, or are you sitting down?
No, I'm still sat down.
Okay. So I get up and I walk over to you, put a hand on your shoulder, lean in kind of close, and I just say, "Look, I'm grateful for you for saving me, but I'm not going to forgive you that easily. Give it a while." And then I smack him on the side of the face and go back and sit down.
Is that like a proper like a bang smack, or like is it like the whole the Italian gangster sort of
Not hard enough to cause any pain, but definitely hard enough to at least send a message like, "Better luck next time, pal."
yeah. I get you. I see where you're coming from.
Not intimidating, but not like, "It's okay, buddy." No, it's like you can hear the on the
Yeah.
side of his face.
I get you. I get where you're coming from. Yeah. No
Picking
roll
up what I'm
needed
putting
for
down?
that.
Okay.
No roll needed for that one.
Well, I'm glad we've at least made some progress. But tomorrow we head back into the dungeon, and I just want you to know that I think we've grown closer as a team. And you know, I kind of stabbed myself through the heart. You know, if someone else could do it next time, that'd be great.
Ah, someone else stabbed through the heart. Scribble notes. Good idea.
Lawful move. I say with a full mouth of sausage.
I'm just saying it fucking hurt.
Yeah, you know what else hurt? Dying.
Hey,
Let me
that's
tell you
why
what
I
hurts.
saved your ass.
Zing.
Yes, like I said, I'm grateful.
Okay.
I don't know. Can we go back to doing like
I'm
the
gonna,
friendly thing, or is this just funnier with us being like the? Hey,
That's
hate
entirely
you.
true. I feel like this is actually it's a really healthy thing for both the characters there to be. Not
Rivalry.
So much. Yeah, that's gonna say. I was gonna say not so much the animosity, but yeah, certainly an element of some sort of rivalry that you know they're. Let's call it the Legolas Gimli factor, shall we?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So the bottom line is no, I'm absolutely fine with any kind of inter-party conflict, even up to the level of PvP, as long as it doesn't hurt, you know, the campaign.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do
absolutely fine with
PvP.
that.
Like you might just find your armor hanging from a tree or something like that in the morning.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
that's
kind of stored
that's absolutely
somewhere.
fine. If you want to prank me,
Yeah.
be that person.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not going to result
fine.
in
Player death? No.
direct
I won't
actual
do that part.
PvP action, I'm not going to be putting a kibosh on it. But it basically, I know both of you quite well, and I trust both of you to not go too far. But I guess both of you would trust me to stop you if you do, and
Yeah,
and
That's
apply
right. And
suitable
if,
retcons as
and if
needed.
it really got too far, I'd just retire a character.
Yeah, well, I think that there's
Start a new one.
I think there's a lot of healthy story that can be had between Nye and Maeve.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I find it kind of fun. That's why
Yeah,
I do
me
it.
too.
Because then it's not just, oh hey, it's buddy, everybody's all friendly and stuff. No, it's these two fucking not hate each other, but they definitely will butt heads. Definitely.
It adds more competition between them.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I feel like there could be some like a bit of a competitive nature
I just-
between them now.
I feel like Maid is very much under the delusion that he's the leader of the group.
I feel like the entire group knows that and is willing to let him believe it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
just because it keeps him quiet.
So for the rest of the day, I will just be packing, you know, stuff on a cart. Short of anything that people are carrying on them, I'll be loading it all up.
Okay, so Maeve is preparing for the journey back. Has anyone got anything they want to do before doing the journey back?
I want to go and apologize to the librarian, then go back and use the thing that I have scrawled on my arm, which is a spell, because I don't think I chose one when we leveled up.
You went from up to level 4. You would have gained access to a new spell because
Yes.
Rangers are one of the weirder classes when it comes to as and when they gain access to spells.
Mm-hmm.
So if we use this as a fluff reason for why you didn't have a spell before, that's should work out pretty well.
You could do something about how I didn't gain that power until I came back from the dead,
Yeah.
thing like that.
Let's just quickly find it again. See, we'll just double check exactly how many spells you have got versus how many you're meant to have, just to make sure because the character sheets are quite smart, and they will
Yeah.
only give you as much as you're meant to have. When that you take more, but they don't automatically apply what you should have. They just stop you taking more than you should have.
Yeah. Well, there was one. It was
You actually currently have no spells selected.
Yes, I know. Because I was thinking to myself, I don't want to deal with those. And then I saw one that would have helped me with those wolves several times over.
Well, you. By the way,
So-
now currently at 4th level, you would have because you are all 4 levels in a range, aren't you? Yeah. So you would have 3 spells, and they're all 1st level spells. So if you want to spend some time having a flick through the ranger spell list, find yourself some little goodies there. And
Let's
we
see. How would I go about adding that? Just do the.
If you go to the compendium, search the spell you want, and then just left click and drag it onto the thing, and you don't need to worry about particularly creating a thing. When you add it to the spell, just add it onto your spells page. It will automatically add the right slot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it's very, very clever.
Yes.
Okay, pokes. So well, let's have a persuasion check from you first of all. 9.
For why?
Because you want to go and apologise to, or go and have a chat with the
Oh yeah.
The librarian lady.
Let me drag these over here. I need to have that thing up. Shit. No.
It needs to be on edit mode as well, so I'll just do that for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll fix that in a second. Let me do my roll. Try to bring back my character sheet because reasons. There we go. And you said a what roll?
Persuasion.
Oh, my favorite.
Or just a straight up charisma if you prefer.
Yeah, I'd rather go with charisma, I think. Although it's the same
Yeah.
+1, so it really doesn't matter.
So yeah, he spends a bit of time talking with her, and like the whole thing of having the tattoo put on and not specifying how to spell the name, which that's the thing that she was most upset about. She's a little bit nervous about getting the tattoo, and then seeing her name spelled completely incorrectly just like really put her off it, and put her off of you. You managed to talk around so that she doesn't hate you, and like she's still, she's like. Well, you know, I think maybe I need to double think, you know, to think again regarding going out on drunken nights out and getting tattoos with people I don't know very well. But yeah, she you know, there is a civil parting of ways on that. So you're fine with that. You're not banned from the library or anything at all.
Well, I mean, I would have said something along the lines of, I mean, I wasn't really expecting to go out drinking. I was just thinking like, go and talk about books or something. That's what I was going with for the weekend, not necessarily getting plastered.
No, it's what she is saying about the whole thing of how the whole tattoo thing occurred, and and that she feels like she needs to calm down from that side of it.
Yeah, I completely understand.
But yeah, she's gonna have a bit of a time to think about things, and maybe you guys can go for lunch someday again in the future.
I literally need to let wounds heal. You said I have 3 spells?
Three first level spells. You have 3 spell slots, and you know 3 first level spells.
Okay.
Don't worry about telling me what they are now, because I can always check your sheet. Just have a.
Well, no, because I was going to ask what other people have to do some form of synergy.
A lot of the ranger spells, particularly at first level, are focused around sort of like utility effects. So things like Hunter's Mark, Long Strider. That sort of stuff. They're focused around giving you more mobility in combat, or preventing other people's mobility in combat, or things like that. I think it's a first level spell, but Hail of Thorns is another ranger spell, which is quite a tasty little one.
Really now. See if I can find that. Oh, that level, not my name.
I think it's first level.
Do rangers get good berry, or is that only druids?
Rangers do get access to good bearing, and Hail of Thorns is the first level spell.
Oh, because I don't see that. I see Hunter's Mark. That's the...
Yeah, no, Hail of Thorns is there. I don't know if it's in the compendium.
Yeah, because that's what I'm looking at right now is the compendium.
No, it's not on the compendium. You need to read it from the player's handbook and add it in manually. There are the compendium's good, but it's not complete. So there are some spells that aren't in there. But yeah, Hail of Thorns. I'll let you know exactly what it does because, like I said, it's one of my favourite ranger spells.
Oh boy.
Cure Wounds is always good. Fog Cloud has saved my arse more times than I can count.
Yeah.
Right now I've got Speak with Animals and Animal Friendship.
Speak with Animals is hilarious.
Hail of Thorns. It's a bonus action that you cast on basically on yourself, and you cast it on a piece of ammunition essentially. And the next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack before the spell ends, the spell creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw. So basically it's like a proximity missile launcher.
So it's kind of like my Flaming Arrows, essentially, where they have to roll for whatever.
Well,
right?
Yes, but that they're rolling. The single target is rolling to see whether you're rolling to see whether or not the single target becomes ignited. With Hail of Arrows, you're rolling to see whether they are rolling to see whether or not them in close proximity to the target are also hit by the splash damage.
Okay.
It's a minor AOE spell.
Yeah.
Think of it as like turning your bow into a shotgun.
Ooh, fun.
It's a nice little spell.
I mean, seeing as I can't really hit much anyway. I'm fine with being like a support class kind of.
Whilst you're looking through your spells, 'cause we can always come back to it and double check some stuff. So have a look through the spells and like, basically like write yourself like a little short list of the spells you want to go for. And like I said, remember to check the player's handbook as well because there are some spells in there that aren't on the compendium. Ion, what would Ion be doing on this their last day in the city before heading back to the guild hall?
I don't just like hanging around. I don't think he has anything on his agenda. He's
Having
just
a ring on his finger.
yeah, kind of nursing his hangover and I don't know, just chilling.
Don't talk to the barmaids.
Let me just realised I actually never got around to moving you guys onto the map view, which probably should do though. There you go. Put that map now.
I mean, technically we were
I'm trying
doing
to
that
work out if
last time on Dragon Ball
Alan
Z.
and Jacob got further than that. Are you sore at all this morning, Ion?
No, there is no soreness for either of them. I'll say that out loud now. I did roll a little thing before we started.
You actually rolled for that.
Yes.
Oh my lord.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm a conscientious DM, okay?
Is it a strength test to see which one's on top?
No, that's just a straight up grapple. That's all that is. That's fine. That's
Oh, Maze would excel at that then.
yeah. Maze. What's the opposite of a power top?
Power bottom.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, the Maze is a power bottom then.
I prefer the term pala bottom.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
That was quite bad. Of course,
Disadvantage for that?
Yeah, I think that also he's managed to unlock some form of achievement related to even in a fight with himself, he's still the power bottom. It's like, no, it doesn't really, you can.
I live in a state of perpetual disadvantage.
Pretty much.
So that's mostly because you keep trying to
Pretty
throw
much.
nets at people, and the net is impossible to roll the
Hey,
net at anything except disadvantage.
Hey, I abandoned the net this morning. That was.
If you say abandoned, you put it back in your pack.
It's
Because I
too
told
soon,
him
Dan.
I don't want it. Anybody have
Yeah,
detect
I'm keeping that night.
Okay, fine.
What was that, Nine?
No, I'm keeping.
Does
the net.
anybody have detect magic? And yes, I heard you.
I have detect magic when
Okay.
I choose to have it on me.
I have detect magic too
So
when
do
I
I.
choose to take it.
Alright, then I will do that.
Cool.
Okay, cool. That should
What
be all
about
of them.
Jacob, what would Jacob be spending their last day? Is there anything in particular that Jacob would want to be doing on the last day, or are you happy to just be ready to head back home, as it were?
He probably check in with the Mages Guild one last time and just talk to a few of the more senior wizards and sorcerers and stuff. Just try and learn any kind of tactics or sort of get some of their knowledge to enhance his own sort of skill.
Well, in the space of a day, you're not really going to get that much opportunity. A lot of it is also going to be down to the fact that because you're not a member of the Mages Guild, they're not necessarily going to be as open discussing that sort of stuff with you. Particularly.
No, sorry, I meant more the people in the guild kind of thing. That's what.
Wait, you mean the guild is in the Mages Guild, or the guild is in the Silver Talons?
The Silver Talons, sorry.
Okay, well, you're not currently back at the Silver Talons Guild yet, so there's no.
Okay.
You're currently still in the city.
Oh,
So the only Silver
wait.
Talon people you can talk to is is your companions who are here.
I'll leave it till later.
And what about Vivian? Is there anything Vivian?
She's just gonna go for a walk and stuff while waiting for everyone to finish up before heading back.
So you're just killing time, jostling about until the bus leaves, basically.
Pretty much.
It's like
do you
a
want to
skilled
help
trip.
me with the? Do you want to help me with the wagon?
I'm not sure.
Silence is deafening.
What is the closest temple chapel thing to the old Oxford?
The closest temple to the old Octopus is the Temple of Tyr, which is the big temple. It's the only temple that is set aside from the rest of the religious area.
On the right hand side.
That one there.
Yeah. Alright, I might have a wander down there and just find out who the bloody hell would marry two drunk people.
Ask around the temple
I
too.
thought-
There's no there's no knowledge or recollection of such a ceremony happening last night.
You might just have a wander around in different chapels, sort of find out what happened and how.
I love the idea that he goes to the Mages Quarter and he's trying to find a divination wizard.
If you want to spend your day walking around the religious district, talking to various people, do that. Give me a survival check and a persuasion check, please.
Oh no.
This is from Jacob. 15 and an 18. Okie dokie. So, you do some wandering about and asking about, and you have a few moments of haziness of vaguely remembering. That arch looks familiar. And wait, have I seen that guy? Do I recognise that guy who's in that temple? And after much research, looking and deliberations and stuff, you managed to find out that you were married in the eyes of you were married in the eyes of Melil, the god of poetry and song.
Aww.
I'll head to that chapel then if they've got a chapel in the city.
No, that's when you're asking around. It's when you reach that chapel. That is when you're greeted by.
Someone who
Looks for
recognises
wanted purposes like a bard more than actually a cleric or any form of clergyman at all. And they're cheerful. They're strumming away on a beautifully ornate harp as they're basically just sitting down on the steps outside the modest church. And they're just playing away a little tune to some of the early arriving acolytes and patrons of the church as they come in, you get the feeling that the whole vibe is one of sort of like a busking bard, but not at the same time. You know, like he's not there playing songs to try and get himself some money so he can put himself up for the night. He's playing songs purely just for the enjoyment of others, and any money that is donated is being donated to the church.
So jubilations in the eyes of his lord, kind of thing, and
Yeah.
the money is a bonus, right? Okay.
Yeah. Spreading happiness through song, and he sees you come. He sees you come along. He goes, Mr. Jacob, or are you Mrs. Jacob? I can't remember which one of you was which now. But God, it's a fantastic, lovely, beautiful ceremony. Tears in my eyes. It really was.
What happened?
Well, you two came along. You and your partner, and you expressed a. I can't remember the exact phrasing you used, but it was something. It was. I remember it was beautiful at the time. It was something along the lines of having spent quite a lot of time together and trusting in each other, and wanting to really solidify the bond between you. And was there any ritual that I knew of one to help, a way of binding two souls together, so that when they face other trials and tribulations in life, that they be able to work together in harmony and beauty? So I formed a pairing ceremony.
Right.
Just imagine it now.
So you paired two drunk companions together in the early morning.
Well, no, this was very late at night. It was just all coming up for 12 bells.
How do if both are agreed? How do we retract this?
Well, the bonding has been made in the eyes of Malil. You need to seek his permission to break such a thing, and there would need to be a really good reason as well.
Right. How would one go about doing it?
Well, I don't know. Really, I've never really thought of doing. No one's really asked for that before. I've performed hundreds of pairings over the years for people from all walks of life. There was just the other week. There was a ship's crew on a little sloop. About maybe 7 or 8 of them or so, I think it was. It just pops up and down the coast. A little rapid runner takes small cargoes of more valuable things that need to be moved at a higher speed, spice, sugars, that sort of stuff. And I bonded all of them together as one group. It's not a marriage. It's a pairing, a bonding. It's. I mean, if that's what you're worried about, I mean.
It's a bonding of kindred soul.
Exactly. Yes. You
Right.
bind souls together in such a way that they be able to look after one another, protect one another, look after one another.
Okay. You immediately see a ring and think marriage.
Well, yes, that's entirely understandable. The rings were just an affectation. They were nothing to do with me.
Just quickly.
I
check-
assume they were an
check-
affectation anyway. Though
Just
I
check-
didn't provide them.
Just quickly check my money, just to make sure that I haven't lost any from that would make the value of 2 rings out of my money is not gone.
No, it seems. Near as you can tell, you either were given or otherwise obtained the rings.
Oh no.
God. Okay, thank you. I will discuss with my partner, as you so eloquently put it.
Fantastic stuff. So if you want to expand the pairing to include the rest of your companions, because you said you were hoping they'd be able to make it for the ceremony and see it, and at least see it and cheer you on, but I don't know why they didn't show up or anything at all. You didn't make that clear. But if you do find the rest of your companions and you want to add them into the pairing, I've got some space in the afternoon. I can fit you in.
I'll be sure to let them know.
Fantastic stuff. Well, hopefully I'll see you later.
Thank
He
you.
goes back to playing his harp.
Alright, cool. I'm going to go back and try and whisper in Iron's ear. Not in that way. No one get that idea. Jesus.
Don't you just guys just love the little bits of plot I throw at you?
Yeah.
This seemingly useless plot that all together actually you start to see the plan unfold. I'm not horrible. Not really.
No.
I just like to
Just
give you
a
guys
bit.
some fun.
Yeah.
So, is that everyone that we've gone over?
I think. I
Okay,
mean, I was gonna
well-
go back to the place because I did all my stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's have it so that it's you're going to be heading out before long. The cart is due to head out. So let's have it that you're all meeting up back at the Blue Stallion, so you can say any words you need to before you begin your journey back to the guild hall.
Oh shit! I actually needed to talk to the owner of the inn to see what's going on with the stuff in that barrel and actually cook it.
Well, I
and try
mean,
it
yeah,
out.
you are still at the Blue. You know, you guys are still at the Blue Stallion. You'll be departing from the Blue Stallion. So if you want to spend some little time talking to him, you can do.
Yeah.
It is. Let's say you're heading back. You must be heading back by early evening. So you guys have still got some time available to you, if there are things you want to do. And we'll say it's about just after lunchtime. So that's why everyone's come back to the Blue Stallion to get one of their last meals of their week here in the city. So if there are conversations that must be had between characters and NPCs, you have an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, let's do that now.
Can I ask? With obviously, I know it's more wizards and stuff that obviously have a book. They write stuff down, all their spells, and learn it that way. Can sorcerers still sort of invent spells if they have the means, or do you have to stick to?
Well, but still, as you level up as a sorcerer, you're going to gain access to more spells and more spell slots and cantrips and meta magic and all that sort of stuff. So you will gain access to more spells. You can't learn spells in the same way as a wizard can. The way that wizards learn spells, because the way wizards learn spells is based off intelligence. As far as I could think of, they're the only intelligence-based class. And it is all to do with their learning of things. So with sorcerers, the magic is within you. By some shape or form, it is within your blood. And that's why it is your charisma that basically it's kind of like a very Green Lantern-y sort of thing. It is your will that shapes the magic.
Yeah.
With paladins, it's a similar sort of thing. It is their belief in their god that helps them to shape their magic. Clerics, it's lifetime of study, where they have all of the prayers and spells logged in their head that way, which is why they already know all of their spells. They just have access to other ones being prepared, which is why they're a little bit different. Druids are the same sort of thing. So they don't pick up spells in that way. If you want to start laying down some groundwork to multi-class into being a wizard, we can look into that, which we may want to do off stream if you want to have a nice long conversation about it, which I understand entirely.
I'll message you on the Roll20 just with what sort of idea I had.
Send it on send it on Discord, just because then that way it won't clog up the chat or anything. I thought that way.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, okay. Do any of you as characters need to say anything to each other even at this point before you start doing your final prep before heading back to the guild hall?
Not really.
No,
So I want to update Ion.
I really want to hear this conversation between Jacob and Ion. I submit this is something I'm quite excited to witness.
Please.
Do it now, or
Yeah, go for it.
okay? I'm just going to go up to him and sort of say, Ion, can I have a word quickly? I want to talk about some things. One spellcaster to another.
Oh, yes, of course. Let's go talk about our special spellcasting stuff. Yeah.
Just sort of sit on the furthest away table where people aren't going to be able to just eras. And just sort of stopped then. I found out how this all happened last night.
Oh, do tell.
Apparently, it was the god of song and was it Dawn? I believe.
Poetry and song.
Poetry. Sorry, and apparently it's more a joining of kindred spirits rather than an actual ceremony of matrimony.
Oh, that's cute.
But somehow we managed to procure rings, whether it was by lawful or unlawful means.
Oh, I think I have some memories of running away very fast from a screaming man last night.
How is that different from any of Ion's nights?
True. Very, very true.
No. No, the... Actually, yeah, you know what, give us a history check.
Okay, let's give us a history check.
Yeah, so you do indeed have a memory of running away from one man and quite excitedly running towards Jacob. But as you think on it more, your memory sort of like clears up, and you realise that the man you're running away from is actually kind of like cheering you on, and you remember that you had this idea. Of bonding of the souls and everything for it, and you found that you were drawn to the sound of the beautiful harp from the Church of Melil, and as you were about to go there, you suddenly realise, oh, rings, that's what we need in your mimosa-induced drunken state, and you have a quick run down to a nearby jewelry shop, and you plead the case to the owner, who's more than happy to help and provides you with a couple of just fairly plain, not particularly special, not particularly high quality, just essentially just a basic wedding band. He provides you with two of those, and sends you away with a little tear in his eye. Happy to be of assistance to what he believes is a young couple. Rightly or wrongly.
Oh, okay. Well, now that I remember a bit better, and I tell him everything you just said because I'm too tired to say it again.
I'll let you off.
Thank you.
Disadvantage.
Okay, so
No. Not this time anyway.
Right, so I guess we're technically not married?
no. I mean, bonded souls, so soul brothers, but that's as far as that goes.
That sounds nice. It's weird, I'm a bit sad about it. I'd always dreamt of getting married someday, but I guess that day isn't today.
Well, at least you got the rings. I'll keep it as a memento, but if you ever want it to give to someone.
Nah, you keep it. We had a moment. Let's remember it. Okay, this is getting really awkward. Let's go kill something.
Agreed.
Can we just kill something? Can we just kill something already?
Yes.
No.
That's a really awkward thing to role play, but it's done.
It's done, thank God.
Just give you guys a little bit of fun, you know.
It puts us outside our comfort zone.
Yeah. So the you spend a little bit more time doing stuff. The wolves have been put onto the cart in their cages, little wolf pups.
Oh shit! I was gonna talk to them.
Well,
they're
they're on the back of the cart now.
Did we ever get the payment for the wolf belts?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was. It basically was done like the checks that were handed out.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but they didn't give any to you, Maeve, because you weren't very helpful.
Yeah, so everyone got paid. The party got paid. Maeve didn't.
I didn't take any money.
Story of my life.
Alright, it was
I think
Jacob, Jacob, Ion, and Vivian took the money from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was like something cost some money to sort out. So Maeve's cut was put into it, and I think Nye very quickly reinvested his in something else as well. I do remember there being some reasons why certain people didn't get money.
No, I think the reasons
I
was
think
because
they kept it because they bought the food for me for that cooking competition.
and it was also because you were in bed, you weren't helping us
Yeah.
doing it.
Well, I wouldn't have taken the money anyway because I didn't do anything.
Yeah, fair. And we didn't give any to Maeve because he was completely unhelpful with his net and stuff.
It's okay, guys. I got it. He gets flung across the woods.
I think when I was the one who went over and got the pups. I mean, admittedly, I netted them, and then walked with them over my shoulder back towards town. But can we kill something?
Yes.
Well, you're going to be hopping onto your cart with your with your guide, your chaperone, Sejan, the Dragonborn, who hops up into the driving seat after having had his lunch, and he asks, is everyone ready for us to head back to the guild hall then?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh wait,
Okay.
did I do my thing to help out the guy at the Blue Stallion, the owner?
Oh no, yes, let's do that. Yes, sorry.
Jesus. So we bust open the cask, and hopefully the meat's not rotted, but it shouldn't be because it was sitting in a brine in a cold place.
Yeah, no, it has come as expected.
Cool. So then I guess we just cook some up and put it next to some mashed potatoes and some cheap vegetables.
And Fosco, he sits down to try the meal for himself, and he enjoys it very greatly, and expresses huge amounts of thanks and gratitude to you, and also then grabs another notepad to confirm the actual process of what he needs to do.
Cool. So
Basically,
now this is where I'm
basically
gonna get a little.
he just goes over with you what the details for what he's meant to be doing with this again.
Yeah. So now, do I get like a small portion of the sales, like a couple copper here and there?
He
If it's a
says
no, then it's fine.
he says he'll need to see exactly how well it takes off. But if it does get to the point where where it's selling off properly, then he'll send word to the guild hall regarding what's going to be going on with that and whether or not you get any royalties, as it were.
Okay, cool. I mean, if I don't, I'm fine. It was just a silly question to
It's
ask.
something I'll roll some dice for it randomly at some point in various other sessions down the line, and we'll you might get like a little note come through to you at some point and come back
Cool.
to a bank account.
Yay.
Okay, so you can jump aboard your wagon and
I'm
head
gonna sit
back
with
to
the wolves in the back.
we head back to the guild hall, and I think what we'll do is we'll take a little 5-minute break there as the party's heading back to the guild hall, so that people can refresh drinks and go to the blue and whatever else they need to do as well. So we'll be back in hopefully 5 minutes. I'll set the timer for 5 minutes. Well, remains to be seen how accurate we are for that. So yes, we shall. So see you shortly.
Oh,
Yes.
back in a bit.
There we go. We are back a few seconds later. But yes, so thank you for staying with us. And welcome back to the show. So, the party are on their way back from Neverwinter City, back to the guild hall. So I'll just change around some views, shall I? Let's go with where's Forest Sounds? We'll go with Forest Sounds.
That's a weird forest sound.
This be the giant forest. Everybody watch yourself. So grind your bones to make their bread.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
The Sunday
There's
Wolves.
an ogre. They'll grind your bones to make their bread. No, those are giants.
It's an
actually.
ogre. Oh, now you see, this is a real problem, these wild ogres. The last thing you want to do is get close to one or fuck with it. In order to demonstrate just how dangerous they are, I'm going to get close to one and then fuck with it.
I'm gonna fuck the ogre.
I
Man,
miss him.
I miss Steve Owen.
Oh, what a beauty. Look, he's tried to bite my face off. What a cheeky blighter. Right, yes. Yes, greatly missed. And we're thankful that
I
he never
legit
was
cried
with.
when he died.
Oh, God,
Yes.
didn't we all? Jesus.
Oh my god, that was my favorite show on Animal Planet.
Mm,
Good God.
Same.
sad times.
And I can't even watch reruns of it.
No, yeah, it's just not the same. But I do like the
No.
fact that his young son has basically just got straight behind that as well as like he's becoming the next the next person doing it. It's like, I'm gonna go and cuddle a spider.
Look at his 8 legs. It's like he's giving me a hug. Oh, he's biting me.
He's
that's a neurotoxin.
He's just as mental and lovely and adorable in every single way. Yes, so the party is on. Oh, there goes a dice. The party is on a wagon, possibly falling off the wagon.
that'd be
ride back to the Silver Talons Adventuring Guild Hall, and you come in there at late evening on the Sunday. Grab all and able to grab all of your stuff. So, Nye, you wanted to do something on the way back, didn't you? Actually, just thinking about it. You
Yes,
said a moment
while
ago.
we're riding back, I was going to use one of my new spells that I was just too lazy to use, and try to.
It was speak with animals. I think you said you were going to use. Yeah.
Yes.
So, if you want to just pop off the spell just to confirm exactly what it says in regards to how
Fuck, damn it.
the animals speak.
And of course, it's not going to show up.
Sorry, I'll look it up. I'll look up the specifics. It's all about exactly how they have the ability to communicate in that regard. So, yes, you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration, which is 10 minutes. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the last day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favour for you at the DM's discretion. So, it's you're not going to be having like a Chaucer worthy conversation with these little.
Oh no,
wolf
no!
pups.
I was just gonna see
But
if I
you
could
are
maybe
certainly,
understand.
yeah, you're gonna get at least a modicum of understanding of what they're actually thinking, as opposed to what's been going on so far. And what we'll do is,
Yeah.
let's have an animal handling check from you again, one for each of the wolves. But these ones you can do with advantage due to the nature of the fact you have to speak with animals, so you're better able to actually communicate what you want to say to them and help them understand what's going on. But obviously, you've still got the potential there for RNGesus to take a big old shit on your craw.
Which I'm sure he will. Ooh.
18 and 16. So you're spending this that 10-minute session of the journey back to the guild hall. You're conversing with the wolves.
Sorry, in the phone, just hear.
That is waiting for the coffee to actually kick in there. Yeah, so you're chatting away with the wolves, trying to again further tame them and bring them on side. Are you giving them any food or anything during this session?
Yes.
And what are you giving them? Because I know you've received some of the nice salty briny meat. Are you giving them that, or are you giving them rations?
Some rations.
So some ration stuff. Cool.
Yeah, because that meat I can cook at any time and feed everyone in the party.
Yeah.
So.
And Lena, that's actually a wise choice as well, because that sort of flavoured meat wouldn't necessarily go down that well with them. They're just gonna be like a bit of food.
Yeah.
So you're getting just some jerky or what have you. And you get it's not so much words as more as you're speaking with them and then they're responding. They're sort of like you're becoming sort of like aware of feeling and notions and ideas as opposed to actual words. And you're getting an understanding that they understand you better. That now that whereas they didn't before, they do now understand your intent, that you want to look after them. You get an understanding that they feel safer. They do feel more looked after through a combination of the food and this newer conversation with them. They don't necessarily. You don't get the feeling that they see you as a member of the pack. They're still a bit wary of you at this time.
Yeah.
But they are, that they are. You're definitely sure now that they are sort of coming around a little bit. It's not. It's not like you're flying blind now.
Yeah. Do I have any idea of what they would want from me in order to become a member of the pack?
Not off the back of this conversation, no.
Okay.
Not off the back of this session, no.
All right. Yeah, I'm not going to do any brainwashing with the.
Actually, why don't you just give me an insight check quickly?
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me dry my hand off. I had to fish some leaves out of my tank.
That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Well, no, I have live plants in my tank, and they.
Just got to, fish some leaves out of my tank.
Yeah.
We can
Oh, you
make
said
anything
insight?
work.
Ooh. Fuck.
Yeah, no, you don't learn anything
Yeah.
extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
No further insights.
No. Well, that's what, every so many hours, right?
What I'm going to do is just the nature of how it's working. I'm going to limit you to doing it once a day, just because of just because of the fact you're going back to the guild hall. You're going to be going through preparing for going into the dungeon. So I imagine you're probably going to want your character is going to want to be doing some training to keep themselves in peak condition, or you may have something else you want to do, some form of research or learning. If you do want to devote all the time to the wolves, then I'll let you do 2 checks a day with them. Bear in mind that you have only got a week. You aren't necessarily going to be having one of them ready to go with you.
Oh god, no! I wasn't gonna take him to the dungeon.
Yeah, I say if the
I was
dice are
thinking, like-
really liking you, it might be where it might happen. But also the thing to bear in mind is that these are puppies. They are going to grow
Yeah, I was-
quite quickly, but we're looking at months down the line until one of them, either of them, is ready to actually go in the field.
Oh yeah, no, I
somewhere.
wasn't gonna do anything like that. I was thinking like if I go out to get ingredients or whatever, say I'm gonna be cooking, or if we're going on like a journey
Oh, using
to
like
another
hunting
town.
dogs, sort of thing.
Yes and no until they're old enough, but like keep them around me so that way it's kind of like they get used to me and they see me as like a member of the pack.
Yeah.
Something kind of like that.
Yeah, so we can have that sort of stuff going off in the meantime. But now that we are back at the Silver Towns Adventuring Guild, back to their guild hall, this is going to be the. I think I did touch on it and explain it before, but now I'll go over it in more detail. You guys have got you've had a week of downtime in Neverwinter City itself, where we will go through each day specifically as a thing of like what are we doing on this day, and sometimes we've had 1 or 2 sessions to go through a particular day in terms of what was going on. This one is now more a case of like how would your character spend their next week before they're going into the dungeon. So you get back to the guild hall. You get yourself signed, signed back in, and everything is accounted for. Vivian gets added into the books, and it becomes everything gets all sorted out that way. So everyone is proper. You guys are told that you're going to be going into your examination, Raggedy. You're going to be doing your proper Raggedy next Monday. So that is your slot when you are scheduled to go in, which gives you a week of time to do any final preparation that you want to do. So the idea behind the downtime in Neverwinter was that is your time to relax and do what you want to do. This next week that we've got, which is not going to be a case of going through each day separately, but this next week that your character's going to have is basically that's guild time. That is what are you going to be doing to make it so that you are ready for the going into the dungeon. So have a little think about that. And what I'll do is I'll make a note of what you guys want to do doing over the course of that week. It may involve like having like a rapid thing of like, oh, you want to do for the next 3 weeks. For the next week, roll me 3 dice, and then off the back of that, we'll work out how effective that choice, that decision is. So have yourselves a little think about what your characters would want to do or need to do in order to be ready for going into the dungeon. And if anyone wants to volunteer to go first, if anyone has any ideas already in their head of what they would like to do.
Go on.
No, after you.
I was just going to say basically what I said at the Blue Stallion is just training with other mages, practicing with them, sort of honing the skills a bit more, getting a bit more kind of used to going against magic users and practicing that.
Okay. To what end? I mean, is this like, are you
Basically, just
one thing I'll tell you guys, right, is that when you first created your characters, in terms of like the starting point was a level 2 character. Once you completed 2 areas of the assessment dungeon, you went up to level 3. Full completion of the assessment dungeon brought you up to level 4. Should you survive all the way through to the end of the examination dungeon, then you will reach level 5. So if there is there's a again you're leveling up, that has another opportunity to gain a level in a different class if you would like to. That is a multi-classing opportunity because you are leveling up. So if you have ideas of how you maybe want to multi-class in the future, this is another opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to sort of like start going down that route. So that's what I was about to mention to you now, Mike. Is when it comes down the thing of practicing the magic, are you wanting to expand the magic that you already knows? Are you wanting to maybe start doing some prep work for multi-class into something else, like one of the other magic classes that are available, like going into wizard or cleric or warlock?
Yeah.
We've
got 7 days. So what I'd like to do is kind of split my time into a couple of days apiece. First practicing on sorcerer, just honing that up better and getting more used to that. And then spend a couple of days with a wizard, just seeing if that's the route he wants to go down, seeing if that magic would apply to him and his way of spell casting. Then a couple of days with a warlock, then a couple of days with a cleric, just sort of split the days up, just trying to get.
So I try and spend a bit of time chatting with different representatives of the different fields of magic to see
what route to go down.
What's going to be a good way to progress for Jake. Yeah. Okay, so let's make a note.
Because if the other 3 don't work, then I'll just keep playing on with sorcerer a bit. If one of them catches my eye or interests me, then I'll go with that one.
Okay, so I put there research magic and multi-classing. Maeve, I think you were almost speaking up as well at the start there. Did you have some ideas of how you want to continue?
Well, my good friend, Nye.
What do you want, God boy?
How about a little friendly wager?
All right.
Well, you know how all of these training dummies, they don't really move and fight in the way that they should.
All right.
How about you propose that we do some training?
All right. What will I get if I win?
What do you want?
How about you help me get a quarterstaff and a little bit of a receptacle for this little beauty here? And I hold up the orb. The
drift globe that doesn't drift.
Yeah, because I'm thinking maybe I can get it on a quarterstaff and use that as like a torch for the people who can't see that well at night.
I like your thinking. Yeah, that's something that could. There is definitely potential there for such a thing to occur.
Now here's my other like kind of strange question: is there anybody at the guild who can kind of cause said quarterstaff to grow around the drift globe, so that way it holds it in place instead of just like something tapping it and it just falls out?
It's more like a druid's job, wouldn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Nature manipulation.
But not for magic.
Yeah, so with a bit of asking around, yeah, there are some people that have enough knowledge of druidcraft to be able to course some magic through a decent sized branch to have it sprout in such a controlled way to basically create a cage around the drift globe. Yeah, that can be done.
Cool. Although not quite a branch, but like a quarterstaff. It's a weapon.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's still going to be made out of wood. They can still cause it to basically come back to life in that regard.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll help you in this endeavor.
What do you want to fight those?
I mean, it's nothing really. I'd like you to not be mean for the entirety of the dungeon. No rude words, no sarcastic comments,
I feel like these are some pretty big stakes.
Right, and I'm also guessing no smacks across the face.
And definitely no smacks across the face.
All right. So back and Chester, fine. Got it. Just walk through the dungeon, just sock him real hard on the shoulder blade. Why? You said no face.
Okay, I'll take this wager.
All right, fists only. So that way we only beat our faces up. We don't cause any permanent damage.
I think I know where Maeve was going. I think Maeve wanted to get some practicing with his bowler, and he wanted to use as a moving target.
I mean, that was the intention, but I mean, I
I mean,
suppose
if he wants to use it, that's fine. Just no weapons that will cause.
No, the,
Right,
the,
no
bo- the
lethal
bowler,
weapons.
yeah, the bowler is very specifically designed as a non-lethal weapon. It's designed as a way to basically entangle an enemy at range.
Tell you what, I'll use these. You can borrow my net.
I don't want that. And I throw it to the side and I grab, well, essentially what I want him to buy for me, or get for me, and just grab the quarterstaff off the wall and say, I think I'll go with this.
Right, you are.
How many bowler did you have made, by the way, in the end, Harry? I can't remember how many we said, if it was one or two.
Two, I
I
recall.
think it was two.
I think it was two as well, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Pretty sure it was two.
Cool. Yep. So you, they'll be arriving at the guild hall on like the second day of your extended downtime period. Which so that means that you've got a bit of other time if you want to prep anything else or any other personal training or anything you'd like to do.
If it's the next day, I'd like to go and talk to the animals again and try to make friends. And then do some.
We'll come to it because we'll work through some of that other stuff because I know.
Squeak and walk and talk with the animals.
Because I was thinking it would be like a daily sparring session where it's just whoever wins basically has to do whatever the other person does. Because then we get to work out our frustrations towards each other. Me because I'm slightly abusive towards him.
So we'll go through that with some with a bit more detail in a few minutes. Ion, what would Ion be wanting to do? Does Ion have any preparation or any groundwork they would like to lay down?
I actually think Ion is gonna sink into his religious studies and try to hone his healing spells to a higher level, really get some power into those.
Okay. What domain were you again?
Light.
Light, not life, yeah?
Yeah, light, not life.
Just double check exactly what light is, because I know light and life are very similar.
Light is more of a DPS. Well, yeah, not that for a second.
Let me just double check the details before I start looking at what I can start lining up. I also want to make sure that I have everything set for what I can't start lining up.
Or honestly, I'll just make it more general. I'm just practicing magic. Doesn't have to be just healing magic.
No, if you want to focus on the healing magic and stuff, then yeah, I can make that work.
Nah, now that I think of it, my healing magic is fine enough, at least for what we have. Let's go the other way. Damage magic, yes.
Okay.
Get a fireball.
A lot of light spells are actually regarding fire.
Yep.
which actually gives me already an idea of something that I can set and do for you. I'm going to send you a message on Discord.
Okay.
Really, with the Final Fantasy VII victory thing? Or no, just Final Fantasy in general. I'm sorry, that was my bad. Yep, and then da 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 da. I start talking like Cloud from that Oni cartoons. No, he just looks big. We'll show him.
Still better than that laughing scene from Final Fantasy X.
Ugh.
Yeah, that is a god awful scene. That really is just.
Put some feeling into it. Ha ha.
Probably
Ha
the worst
ha.
scene in all of video games.
Just dreadful, truly dreadful.
But still a better love story than Twilight.
Well, anything's a better love story than Twilight.
I know.
Freaking 50 Shades of Grey's a better love story than Twilight.
I'm not so sure about that. That's going maybe a bit over.
Yeah, you're probably right. But let's
Well,
say
we found the Twilight apologist.
Let's just say that they're on an equal footing with each other, shall we?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm afraid I can't let you
They're
do that, Tom.
all as shit as each other.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Tom.
So can you give me Ion? For the course of the week you're doing it. Can you give me
Hmm? Yes?
2 just straight up wisdom checks and 2 religion checks?
Okay.
And basically, this is essentially is equating to the course of the week doing this.
Not a wisdom saving throw, right?
Not
Just
saving throws, just straight up checks.
2 wisdom checks. Ew. Ugh. And where's religion? There we go.
Sort of balance that out. Okay, right, perfect. Right. So I've just sent you a message on Discord. Let me know if you understand what's going on with that.
Let me see.
And whilst you're reading through that, is there anything Vivian would like to spend her week doing?
Sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to nip out just for a second.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I know Vivian is already multi-class. I know we had quite a long conversation about exactly what you wanted to do for Vivian, and we're going down the route of being a Eldritch Knight with some specking into Wizard as well.
Yes.
Is there anything that Vivian would like to do, or anything that Vivian feels that she needs to do as preparation for the
She
upcoming
is going to do some more training in not only fighting but also in some magic as well to kind of hone her skills a little bit.
Okay, so she's not necessarily actually joining Jacob, but is essentially doing a very similar thing to Jacob. We're spending some time with the. Is it? Are you going specifically? Are you splitting your time kind of evenly between training in magic and training in fighting? Okay. Um.
Hmm?
You seen that?
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. The thing is, sorry, I just had something. I just spotted something on Discord and it's very peculiar. Sure, I'll research it. I'll research later. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Right. Okay. So you're going to be doing some training with the wizardry stuff and training with the straight up combat.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. The dog got stuck somewhere it shouldn't have been.
Oh.
He's been a nightmare all day.
Oh.
Cats are superior.
Can you give me, Vivian, you're strength-based fighter, aren't you? Not dex-based.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Can you give me 2 strength checks and 2 intelligence checks? Just straight up strength check and intelligence check.
So I just click strength on.
Yes.
Done it?
Oh, you've done it for saving throws.
Okay, I didn't know. I did the other one instead.
Yep.
Another one. 2 of those, and what was the other one?
Intelligence. And another one.
Oh, you only said to do 1.
No, sorry, 2. Yeah, two each for intelligence and strength. Sorry.
That's right. Oh, that was awful.
So, that's fine. Alright, let's make some notes on this, and what I'll do is I'll, instead of sending you a message on Discord, I'll have a chat with you on the stream.
Yeah.
Because you're here. So it just makes life it makes more sense to do it that way. Sorry guys, scribbling down some notes on what has already been done and what needs to be done. Right, and Jacob, I'm deliberately leaving May the night till last just because of the nature of the fact that you two are going to do some stuff where it's going to kind of like go back and forth between the two of you, so we're going to leave that one till last.
Okay.
Jacob, can I just spend some time doing your just generally honing your skills as a sorcerer before you start basically doing like going through some like induction courses, as it were, with the other or the major schools of magic that you have had an interest in. Let's just quickly load up your character sheet. Just want to have a quick look at what your actual stats are. I have some decisions based off of that. So you are doing that. What is the nature of your sorcery or your sorceress origin again?
What, as in, what do I use as my base, or?
Yeah, are you what is your sorcery archetype? Are you dragon blood? Are you
Yeah, dragon
Phoenix
blood.
Soul? Dragon, right. Right. Okie dokes. Right, can you give me, please,
Mm-hmm.
one each of an intelligence, wisdom, and charisma checks?
Wisdom was rubbish. Charisma weren't much better.
Okay, right. Okay. Okay, what I'll do is I'll have a chat with you off stream at some point, either later tonight or during the week or something, because I know that you and I tend to chat quite a bit, like during Warframe and stuff. So I'll let you know, because I need to. Well, I've got an idea that I'm forming, but I need to work some things out for it. But I will definitely come back to you with some stuff on that bit. Yeah, that's. There'll definitely be some interesting progression options that I can give you there for some fun that you can have.
Cool.
Right, so Jacob has spent his is spending his week in practice, study, and conversation. Ion is spending his week in a very similar state. As is Vivian as well. Each of you are practicing along certain either a medley of or specific aspects of what you already know. And May the Night, let's then come to you guys. So, what is Maeve wanting to get from this week of prep time? What is the general end result that Maeve is seeking?
He wants respect.
Harry?
Oh, real sorry. I'll be 5-ish minutes.
Oh,
Sorry, no, I'm back.
Okay, cool.
So I was
Yeah,
just on the phone with Vicky.
Sorry. Yeah. So, what is the main end result that Maeve is seeking from this week of prep time?
I think it's the fact that, in Maeve's opinion, Nye is always shitting on him and thinks that he is clearly superior. And Maeve is obviously superior in every conceivable way. So this will be the decider to finally put Nye in his place, get some respect, you know.
So have a bit of a thing. Basically wants to spend this week, sort of like.
I want to prove to everyone unequivocally that I am the leader of the group.
Okay. Zalasha thinks Jacob is superior because of sorcerer magics. To be fair, sorcerers are incredibly solid. To be fair, they are very, very powerful characters.
But it's kind of the point that everyone's going along with it,
Yeah.
with the exception of Nye.
It's more the fact that no one's specifically said no because he's fine, just leave him to it. You know, you're essentially the 5-year-old of the group. It's
They're
kinda
just like,
how
he's
it
having
feels.
fun, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, that's the angle I'm going for. But Nye needs to be taught his place.
Right, and what is Nye attempting to get as like an end result of this extra week of prep time? What is Nye's end game, as it were, for this period?
He's just trying to get stronger.
Straight wants to get stronger.
Because he doesn't want to repeat what happened before.
Oh yeah,
He's
where he died.
Super terrified. Yeah, he's
Okay.
acting instinctively on fear all the time now. he's always in a state of, I'm gonna die. I don't want to die.
Well,
Every thought
I
that
know
goes through his head is
that Nye is definitely going to be spending at least an amount of time each evening with the wolves.
Yes. Actually, if they're in my room, is there a way that I can set up like a kind of cage-ish, so I don't have to keep them in the Sea of Thieves transport boxes?
the rooms that you guys are in, they're sort of like
Dorm rooms? Sure.
yeah, they're a communal room where there's 5 beds per room. And like foot lockers at the end of each bed, that sort of thing. It's more like a barracks than a personal quarters.
So it's basically our team that's
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I will ask the rest of the group, hey, if I set up a kind of fence area around my bed, would anybody have a problem with me letting the dogs or the wolves out and about to roam around?
Sounds fine to me.
As long as they don't chew anything of mine, that's fine.
Don't burn them, please. Don't roast them. Burnt
Oh,
hair is not a fun
It
smell.
would be a severe telling off rather than
Okay.
discipline is down to you.
I like to cover like the worst possible scenario before,
You've gone through all that trouble of saving them. I'm not going to say.
Well, you guys saved them. I'm trying to get a better, or trying to help us out in the long run in case
Yeah.
there's anything that happens later.
Plus
Strengthen the
100
party.
Plus 100 wolves.
Yeah.
Because the actual archetype range you've gone for is the monster hunter one, isn't it?
I believe so. Yes.
The whole thing of like I'm really good at killing shit, but I don't have a pet.
I believe so. No, I'm Colossus Slayer.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so there's the Slayer archetype, the Beastmaster archetype, and there's Underdark, like a Dark Stalker archetype, something like that.
Yeah.
And so one of them is based around being able to kill things that are particularly big or that are particularly numerous. One of them is based around having a pet that you can then send out to go and do various things. And one of them is based around essentially having control over the darkness and shit like that.
Yes.
And it's a very underused one because unless you know your campaign is going to heavily feature the Underdark, there's not really any point in going down that archetype. It's very specific with its utility, which is a shame because it's actually a really fun archetype to go down. It's just vastly underused, as is much of the Ranger stuff. Such is life.
Basically, how they include illusion magic back into the game.
Yeah, so the illusion wizards are broken as crap. They're almost as broken, arguably as broken as a divination wizard.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
Actually, there isn't a thing that says something with animals. Because I see Colossus Slayer, Giant Killer, and Horde Breaker.
yeah, no, they're not archetypes. Those are features of the the monster fighter archetype.
Yes.
So
I'm looking for it, and I only see Hunter as the archetype.
I think it might be on the next. Let's just double check it. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it is Hunter and Beastmaster. I'm sure it's Hunter and Beastmaster. But then you've got the UA stuff, the Unearthed Arcana stuff. Who's banging what?
I was gonna say, who's making noise?
Oh, sorry, I was readjusting my microphone.
Oh, no, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, so you've got the Hunter archetype and then the Beastmaster archetype. So Hunter, you've got the feature Hunter's Prey, where you can then choose either Colossus Slayer, Giant Killer, or Horde Breaker, and then the feature Defensive Tactics, and then the feature Multi-Attack. So you can work through those things about whether or not you're attacking a specific target or multiple targets or things like that. Beastmaster is then the other one. But Hunter, Beastmaster, and Under Slayer, something like that. If you, I think I linked it in the Discord, but there is a PDF for the Unearthed Arcana, basically the Hunter Revisited. and it helps to really flesh out what the ranger can do. And it just makes life. That is the ranger build that you are using. By the way, you are on the Ranger Revisited. We did base your catch off of that, so you are already in the right place, as it were.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just a little bit tweak. But yeah, so you got you have the wolves. The little wolf pups are essentially, to all intents and purposes, loose in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You want to just get stronger. You say you want to get stronger.
More or less improve myself in combat, and you can't really do that with a dummy. So I figure I might as well use somebody that will want to fight with me, because I kind of want to fight with them. So kind of a mutual benefit type of thing, where they're going to get stronger and I'm going to get stronger at the same time.
So no, but you want to. If I was to put this down to the very, very like core of it, you want to train your combat skills.
Yes. And in a way, I may or may not, in a non, what would be the term, malicious way, I'm manipulating Maeve, because I know he will go for it.
Yeah. And Maeve is looking to put a beat down on Nye, and I imagine probably getting some practice with his new bits of kit.
Yep.
I love that.
No, I'm kind of going for this. I'm going to throw the whole kitchen sink at it. Like, this is a matter of principle.
This is where the
Sounds like
competition bit comes in.
It kind of does.
I think that's
Okay.
how it's going to be between the two of us. It's just going to be a competition. all the time.
I've made a note here, and basically in terms of what your characters, the conversation that we've had, what your characters are planning on doing with this week of downtime. Now, 3 of you have already rolled dice to basically decide how certain things are going to be unfolding. But what I've got here in the list, and I'll just go down the list in the list order written down here. Maeve is looking to practice with his new kit and to gain respect from Nye. Is that correct?
Yep.
Cool. Vivian is looking to do some training in both her combat and magic use.
Yep.
Nye is looking to train in his combat skills, further train in his combat skills.
Yep.
Jacob is researching, what I actually written down here is researching magical multiclassing. Mike?
Yep.
Is that right, yeah?
Yeah, multicasting, sorry.
Yeah. So I said we've rolled some dice on that, and I'll have a chat with you. Well, I'll probably take you aside for 5 minutes after the stream just to let you
that's
know how I'm already thinking it, and then I'll catch up with you later in the week to go over some more specifics of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I'll talk with you a lot more this evening once we're finished here regarding the ideas I've got and we'll work some stuff out. And Ion, you're looking at finding ways of empowering your magic, and I've sent you a message already regarding how that's going to be occurring.
Yep.
Fantastical. Right. I feel like we're not necessarily going to have enough time to go over all of the stuff between Maeve and Nye, so what I'm going to do is we're going to have some of the animal handling rolls from Nye, and then we're going to find someone to pass the love on to, because it's 10:30 now. I am actually getting tired for some obscure reason. I don't know why, because I've just drank an entire pot of espresso.
Well, espresso has less caffeine than regular coffee because they burn the bean, therefore decreasing the amount of caffeine, which is probably why.
That'll probably explain it. But it's not an entire pot, which I feel like should have had an effect of some type.
Yeah,
But there we go.
The look on your face on the stream there when you were saying that was just, what?
blonde roast
Yeah.
is actually the strongest
Yeah.
type of coffee.
I don't know what roast of espresso it is. I just said espresso on the tin.
Espresso is burnt.
yeah.
It's essentially charcoal.
Right. But it does look like soil when you've got it on the spoon. To put it into the pot. Right. So let's go with. You're going to be. I imagine you're going to be making at least one use out of your speak with animals per day when you're doing this. So I said what I'd do is I'd limit you to doing it once per day if you're doing something else, and you said you want to be doing your training or combat skill. So over the course then of the week.
Because I was thinking with the
instead-
sparring.
Instead of rolling it 5 times, just roll me. I'll mentally adjust what the DCs are going to be. Roll me three advantaged animal handling checks to basically equate for the whole of the week with these 2 pups that are now no longer restrained in small cages and able to actually move around a little bit.
Okay.
I've got mentally adjusted some DCs to see what's going on.
Ah.
Oh God!
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll say that cancels out the near critical fail, shall we?
Yeah, please.
Um,
Please.
Yeah. So
Actually, no, that was a 2, I think, right?
it was
Yeah,
it was a 2, but the other roll was a 1.
That was my bonus, I think, right? Was it?
Well, the first one you did, you rolled a 2 and a 1, because the advantage roll was the 3.
Oh yeah, it takes the highest, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, the yeah, I mean the puppies, they're now yapping quite happily when they see you. So over the course this week, every day that that you come back in from like your hard day of your hard day of training, each day they're becoming more open to you, and your return to the quarters. They're yapping quite happily. By like the 3rd or 4th day, gets around to the like the weekend again, and when you're walking into the room and just like very absolutely beat, you flop down on the bed and they jump up and they're lapping at your face. They're quite happy with you now. They don't necessarily like that. They're seeing you as being a part of the pack. Certainly, they are recognizing you. They're seeing you as being friendly, as being family. They're not necessarily seeing you as an alpha at this point, but they are certainly seeing you as equals.
Okay.
So they are happy with you, and your presence there.
And I am happy with that.
Yes.
That's really good.
And with regards to the actual combat training element, that's going to be having some.
I was honestly thinking we each roll 3 D100s, and whoever gets best 2 out of 3, kind of.
We can do it that simply if you like. Actually, if that's
because I mean it'd be like a
as well. If that's okay with
each
Harry.
sparring session, like do
Yeah, it's cool.
3 points, kind of. But whoever gets the 2 out of 3 basically wins the match, sort of.
Yeah, so it's essentially over the course of this piece, you're doing 9 D100s, so...
What would that be? D100 times 9?
No, because that will just take whatever the result is of a D100 and times by 9. So what you want to... Actually, a nice easy thing you can do with this, because I can still look up what the exact numbers are, is if you... Actually, no, there's another easy way to do it. Another easy way to do it. I will... I'll pop in the thing here. What you would want to do. Oh shit, it's done. You absolute pain in the bum. But at least it shows that does work. Okay, right, so I'll drop it in Discord what you want to do.
Alright.
I'll just drop it in the general the Monday bears bit.
Alright. Because I was thinking, well, what's going to take the least amount of time, so that way it's not just me and him spending an hour plus just going back and forth like, I do this.
Yeah.
I do this.
Right, so that's what you want to do. So with the square brackets either side of it, and then that'll put out numbers like I've put it there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if each of you do that, if you do that once, basically for what we'll count as being round 1, as it were, and then we'll repeat it each time as we need to. Oh, that's looks like Nye's coming out with fists flying in this regard. You alright, Harry?
Hmm?
You okay?
Copy paste works, just so you know.
Sorry, miles away.
You okay, friend?
Oh, that's just a last day.
Ah, for us. Well, we're almost finished now. Almost time for bed.
You back to work tomorrow?
That's another way to do it.
Nah.
Yeah. So with the like facing off, like 50 feet away from each other, Harry ready to try slinging out his bolas. Also, Maid ready to try slinging out his bolas, and Nye ready to do his best to dodge and get in there and score a point. Yeah, the first 2 rounds do go to Nye, but Maid manages to bring back quite vehemently there with the 3rd round. So yeah, I think as the DM in me on that regard would say that I think Nye possibly getting a little bit overconfident, thinking after the back of the first 2 he's just going to walk away with this bit and score it as a 3-0 lead on the on the sparring, and ends up knocked rounded on his arse by a well thrown bowler to the face.
Why the face? Bolas are supposed to be thrown at your ankles so that way they tangle you up and you fall on the ground.
Because Maid is learning how to use them, and he hasn't quite learned where he should throw them yet.
Jesus, well, with that 96, you could say that I caught him with the quarterstaff and threw him back.
Oh yeah, no, you've definitely put him in the dirt the first 2 times. I think it riled him up in such a way, like, no, you're not gonna get a flawless victory, bah, and just
Now, because I'm not a force
flashes
porter,
out in anger.
I don't just let him get up on his own. I pull him up and walk back to my place. Kind of like we're fighting
Yeah,
mutual sort of respect. Kind of.
I get the feeling that there is. So I get the feeling that there is some like begrudging respect from Nye towards Maeve, regardless. Maeve is really wanting to actually force Nye to respect him, but it's kind of like it's almost happening passively. In a little bit.
Yeah. I still think we should keep that whole butting heads thing.
Yeah. They're still gonna be at odds with each other, but have you guys
I just kind of love the idea that in the film where imagine if Legolas and Gimli went off to try and see who was the best, and you'd never see the outcome. They just come back with a bit more respect for each other, and everyone can tell.
Well, if you've read the Gaunt's Ghost books by Dan Abnett, how it starts between Gaunt and Rorn, and then how over the course of the series of books how it ends up being between Gaunt and Rorn, I'm imagining a very similar sort of dichotomy between the characters there. But let's have round 2. So let's have you guys pop off those numbers again and see who's more victorious this time.
Round 2, fight.
Losers first, sir.
Well, fuck that.
Oh dear.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh yes.
Oh. I think it's safe to say that you neither of you are particularly on form for your second fight. Perhaps both of you are a little bit more wary, and the winds are coming not through directly overpowering each other, but more getting in that lucky blow at just the right time.
So we're kind of understanding how each other fights, or how each person fights. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in terms of bruises and welts, I think whilst Nye may have won the fight overall, I think that Nye's probably also got the biggest bruises.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Even though I'm fighting him with a piece of wood, just like I'm not doing any massive stuff. I was thinking just like
you more
sweep his
using it
legs
to,
out
like,
from under him, or just
exactly,
like get a
moving him around as opposed to actually putting him down. You know, yeah, I get you.
kind of
yeah.
like again, the manipulative thing where it's I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm gonna, just fuck around.
Yeah.
I'm taking it seriously, but not to the point where I'm gonna.
But it
stress.
is still sparring. It's still sparring.
Yeah.
Well,
Just a respectful.
to be fair, I think we can probably do the like 5 days worth of this. I think the best of 5 is going to be more telling than best of 3. I think it'll be more opportunity for the characters to have an opportunity to gain respect for each other. And given the fact the way we're doing it, should it be not taking up not too much time. So, round 3, fight.
Go ahead, Mace.
Let's see what we got here.
Ooh.
Oh, May has had its Weetabix.
Well,
I'm
that
probably
is
gonna
good.
get my ass kicked on this one. Yeah, I lost this round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I got you
it's,
good the first one,
yeah.
but you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's that first fight. The first one in the morning. You get the Nye manages to get the drop on him. The bowler is thrown and Nye gets the quarterstaff in the way and it just wraps around it properly and it gives him extra weight as he brings it round, smacks into Maid's chest and just knocks him straight off his feet. A la that horrible fight scene from The Matrix where Neo cracks the guy with the pole that's still got the concrete on the end of it. You know the scene I'm talking about, and you can see it in your head with a quarterstaff with a bowl around it instead.
Yeah, that hurts. Now, here's my question for Harry. So is Maith returning the favor, and after he knocks me on my ass, is he like coming by and picking me back up, or is he just letting me sit there, just like, no, fuck you?
After a bit of of course he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Maeve would want to like lord it over. It's like, oh, not only have I put you down, but I'm helping you back up as well. Aren't I magnanimous? I get the feeling that that's the sort of personality Maeve may have
Most likely,
in this
yeah.
particular encounter's determined to say, this is why I'm the leader.
All right, so.
All right, round 4. Fight.
Ooh.
Oh, strong starts there from Nye.
Oh.
Oh dear, yeah, that
Not
second,
gone well.
yeah, that second round in the in this particular sparring has definitely resulted in a hefty crack to the ribs, I think, or something like that. Not enough to cause a lasting injury, but certainly enough to knock the wind out of you. But
Can I also jokingly say that probably at the end of each match, like at the end of the day, as we're all battered and bruised, we go over and we pester Ion. Is like, can you heal us, please? And we're just like kind of walking around here, just like clicks and pops. It's just like, my God, what did you do to each other? Don't ask. Don't ask. Just heal. Just heal.
Okay.
oh, I love
I
it. It's
cast
brilliant.
one of my healing spells, but I'm too tired to look it up right now.
It's like
I'm
you
just like-
do a heal. You do a cleric.
I do a heal. I am good cleric. Yes.
I
I
cleric
can just
all over
I can
them.
just imagine at the beginning of the fight, Nye being like, I'll just be right back, and running away and coming back with like a table, and then the next round he's got like a beautiful like cloth on it, and then comes back later and he's got like a medical kit and a jug of water, just building this thing as the fight goes.
Oh,
That is now canon.
yep.
Oh my God.
And of course, just orange wedges for between scraps, between rounds for the fighters to refresh themselves a little bit.
Of course.
Now, here's the funny thing.
What's in the
Is
other
everybody
jug?
else in our group-
Mimosas.
God. Does everybody else in the group actually come and start watching this?
Well, I mean, it would be going on in the courtyard, in the training area. So anyone who is training with regards to combat is probably going to be able to see it and be aware of it anyway. So Vivian would be aware of it, definitely.
So we're just kind of going.
I'm not so sure, just because of the nature of how he'd probably be aware of it,
he'd
certainly,
be
like,
in-
at least for like the first couple of days, because training with his he's with the sorcerer side of it, training his magic, that bit is probably going to be out in the courtyards as well, slinging firebolts at the archery targets, that sort of stuff. But the rest of it, because he's spending so much time also learning and speaking with other magical users, maybe he's cashing the first couple scraps, and maybe like he'll come out in the morning to see the fight before going off and doing the studying. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in terms of like actively seeing it, he's not going to be necessarily in the same location.
So we pretty much already have the winner, but do we want to see how the last round would have gone?
That's up to you guys.
You want to see me?
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of interested.
To because I mean, it's that's another way to gain respect as well, isn't it? Let's see this.
Because I would say that at the end of like the
Oh,
third day.
no. Bollocks.
dear. Oh dear,
Ooh.
that's not gone well. Did not have his Weetabix.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I got a sound beating in straight sets
You-
there.
you did. I mean, I think you managed to like hold your own a little bit for the last one, but he managed to overpower you at the eventually. But yeah, that last day, the scrap of the last day, maybe nerves about going into the dungeon, getting to you a little bit there, maybe that's why you're not quite as.
I have no
As on
idea
your
what you
toes.
could possibly be talking about.
But yeah,
I just got unlucky, that's all.
Yep, Nye wins overall. Definitely Nye wins overall. But I still think that Nye's getting a bit of a begrudging respect for Maid, given the fact that even after 4 rounds, even after 4 days, it was very clear who the winner was. But Maid still came out for the
still
last
going.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
Maid
swinging.
still came out for it. I mean, if I was in Nye's place, I'd say like, yeah, okay, fair play to him. He's still here. He's still come
Yeah.
out for it.
He respects him. He just still has that bit of like, no.
Just doesn't have to like him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, we're in the same group. I respect you, but I don't have to like you. And so it's just kind of like a thing, essentially for a, not to sound like he's gonna be a dick, but he's probably going to. He picks Maith up off the ground after the sound beating that he received, pats him on the shoulder hard, like knocks his arm down a bit, and says, "Better luck next time," and smacks him on the face, walks away. And as he's walking away, he goes, "All right, I'll be waiting for my quarterstaff. Make it snappy. I'd like it before the dungeon."
Fuck.
So, are you leaving the quarterstaff that you had with you there, with Maid?
Well, I figured that would be the one in the training area, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, so
yeah,
you
so
are-
I would leave that
Well,
in the...
Maid, you with a little bit of asking about you do find it, that there are some weapons that are available for this, like things that are available for this, and masking around, you do find out that there is a druid available to make this as the item as well as we discussed earlier. So yeah, it's not gonna. There's no cost or anything for it to you. There's no. You don't need to you don't owe anybody a favor to do this really at all. The druid that does it is actually like, oh yeah, actually this makes a lot of sense. I can see, because normally like drift globes, you'd float and they follow you around, but obviously this one's broken. So yeah, this makes sense. I can see why you'd want to do this sort of thing. That's a really good idea that you've had there to put this this little damaged drift globe onto the end of a quarterstaff. You're really smart for thinking of this.
Through gritted teeth. Thank you.
Love you, Harry. Oh, I'm a horrible person.
That's what makes it fun.
But yeah, so we have a non-burning torch available to the group now at this time. So in the
Can I
form
also
of this
use that as a
damage
weapon?
You can.
It is a
still-
quarterstaff.
Yeah, you can still use the quarterstaff as a weapon. That is possible to do that. Yeah, it's possible.
With
Yeah,
the-
it's possible to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Because with the drift globe in it, technically, in a way, grown into the staff, that would also make it somewhat of a cudgel, correct?
Well, I mean, the drift globe doesn't really weigh that much. So.
Well, I know, but I'm saying it's like a good, like, sized knot.
Yeah, I mean,
at the
it's
other
it's not a significant enough change to the overall mass and shape of the quarterstaff to change
Yeah.
the stat panel for it. Let's just put it that way. So you can still use it as a quarterstaff, yes.
Cool. So I will add that.
It just has the ability to be also generating light.
Cool. Yay.
And that gives us now, we are 8 minutes to 11, which is our regular stopping time. Not 8 minutes to 11, 11 is our regular stopping time, so 8 minutes 2 seems like a good solid time for where we can stop this now. So we're going to say goodbye to the YouTube people as we stop the recording and I get this uploaded as quickly as I can in the next opportunity I have. Bye bye YouTube people, say bye bye.
Bye.
Boy.
Bye.
Boy.
We end the recording there.